Alright guys, World Wrestler here, and this is my WWE Fastlane 2016 review. A pay-per-view that in my predictions I wasn't looking too much forward to. I knew the Styles match and the Styles and Jericho match would be great. I knew the Ziggler Owens match would be great. I thought the Triple Threat main event would be great. And that was pretty much my excitement. The rest of the card just didn't really excite me. I knew it'd all be fine pretty much, but it wasn't going to be spectacular or, great. I guess we'll find out what I actually in the end thought, because it was pretty surprising. Well, anyway, on the pre-show we started with the 2 out of 3 falls match for the United States title between Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto. Kalisto having big support from the fans. I think this kid's got a lot of talent. This 29-year-old Kalisto, I think he could be the next Rey Mysterio if they book him correctly. I don't think he'll ever win a world title. I can't think of a lot of Mexican world champions, There's Del Rio, there's Mysterio, and there's Guerrero, and that's it. So, I don't think he'll ever win a world title, but I think the mid-card title's good for him. So anyway, this 2 out of 3 falls match was very good. I'd say it's actually one of the best matches Del Rio and Kalisto have had. The first fall was quite smart, because as Kalisto started to get the upper hand over Del Rio smartly got himself disqualified by hitting Kalisto with a chair, which forfeited him the point, which meant Kalisto was 1-0, but it left Del Rio time to damage Kalisto. He threw him into every single one of the corners before putting me in the ring and getting ready for the second fall. Kalisto valiantly tried in the second fall, but got caught by Del Rio. Double foot stomp, 1, 2, 3, that's 1 apiece. And the final fall I liked quite a lot as well. But in the end, Kalisto's Salida del Sol was countered by Del Rio, but then Kalisto actually countered it into a Hurricane Rana. Hurricane Rana Del Rio into the turnbuckle, and then Schoolboy roll up, 1, 2, 3. Kalisto, 2-1, retains the United States title over Alberto Del Rio. I think it was a very good match. I gave it 3.25 stars, sorry. 3.25 stars. Very good matchup, very entertaining. The main show begins, and something happened that I don't think has ever happened on a WWE pay-per-view before. We had a Divas match kicking off the show, as Team Bad, Naomi and Tamina Snuka, took on Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. And this match was good. It was a hot opener, hot in more than one way again. But it was a good opener. It was very fast-paced. You definitely had, full support behind the faces. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, I love them to death, so I'm not wearing my Legit Boss shirt today. Sadly, I'm wearing KO. But yeah, everyone was behind Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, and in the end, they got the victory. Sasha Banks made Tamina tap out to the Banks statement, and at the same time, I believe Becky Lynch had Naomi in the disarmer. So, double tap out, even though Tamina's the only one that counts. But a good opener. I gave it 3 stars. I think really some good quality there. Look, I think Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks are the next contenders for the Divas title after what happened Brie Bella. So I think they can have tremendous matches with Charlotte, as we've seen from NXT. But I think firstly they should have a #1 contenders match on Raw, where Sasha Banks does win, because she hasn't had a Divas title match yet, and Becky Lynch has. So I'd probably hold off on Becky Lynch for now and save that for a big Sasha Banks feud for maybe Payback, something like that. But anyway, 3 stars, a really good hot opener. Moving on, we have the Intercontinental title match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. This match was great. I knew it'd be great. The talent of Ziggler and Owens just gels and meshes so well. I think these guys have great chemistry. They've showed it on Raw over the past 2 weeks that they have great chemistry. And, it was a really damn fine match. A few good calls. Kalisto. Ziggler hit Owens with a super kick for a close near fall. He hit him with a Famouser for another close near fall. Owens hit Ziggler with a super kick, which caught him absolute flush in the middle of the face for a close near fall. But in the end, Dolph Ziggler was going for Sweet Chin Music, which I'm going to call it now, because it is Sweet Chin Music. Dolph Ziggler is turning more into Shawn Michaels every single day. He was going for Sweet Chin Music. He goes for it. Owens gets behind the referee. Ziggler makes sure he isn't going to hit the referee. Owens kicks him in the gut. Pop-up powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens retains the Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler. I gave the match 3 3/4 stars. Damn fine match. Really good. Pretty much 4 stars. Pretty much. I would give it 4 stars if it lasted a little bit longer. They gave a little bit more depth. Maybe the psychology had been a little bit better. But 3 3/4 stars is very good for an Intercontinental title match. In fact, I think that's the highest I've given an Intercontinental title match this year. Or even last year. So, good job to Ziggler and Owens. I knew they'd be able to have a good match. Really, that title needs elevating, kind of like the US title was elevated last year when it was with Cena. Owens can really do that by having class matches like this with guys like Ziggler. I think Owens should do an open challenge every week on Raw with guys like Neville, Tyler Breeze, Stardust, AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, things like that. That's how I think they could elevate the IC belt, kind of like how they elevated the US title belt. Because regardless of whether or not you like John Cena, when you think of the best United States title runs, his, I think, is probably the best to me. I think it's the best US title run of all time, especially in WWE. I think it just stands out. He had phenomenal matches with Cesaro. He elevated guys like Cesaro, Rollins, Owens, Neville, Sami Zayn, and that's what Owens could do with that IC title, and I'm really, really happy that Owens can do something like that now, especially with guys like Ziggler and Neville. Moving on, we move on to the matchup I wasn't looking forward to on this show. The Wyatt family, which was Luke Harper, Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman. No Bray Wyatt, he was only at ringside. Against the Titans of WWE, which was a team of The Big Show, Ryback and Kane. I was very surprised by this match. Very surprised. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I don't think it was too bad. However, I do have one big nitpick, and it's still the same nitpick I had back at TLC. Eric Rowan is the jobber of the Wyatt family. Whenever the Titans were on top, whenever they were on top, they were always on top of Rowan. They were always beating Rowan. It was never they were beating Strowman or Harper. Even though in the end, shockingly, and I think we were all kind of shocked, Ryback hits the shell shock on, Luke Harper, after Big Show gives a colossal spear to Braun Strowman, which was pretty awesome, because I freaking hate Braun Strowman. But Ryback shell shocks Luke Harper, I think he landed wrong, pins him, 1, 2, 3, the Titans beat the Wyatt family, and that kind of annoyed me. I feel like they should have been building the Wyatt family towards the Brock Lesnar match, which we kind of find out they aren't by the end of the night, and I'll tell you why. But yeah, that really did shock me. It kind of annoyed me. It's good that it shocked me, but it did annoy me. I can't understand why the Titans won. But overall, the match, it was fine. I give it 2 1/4 stars. To be honest, I'm going to actually bump it to 2.5. It was fine. It was pretty good. Good job. Surprisingly, I think it was quite entertaining for a 6-man tag. Moving on, we move to our next title match. I believe our last title match on the card, yep. And it is the Divas title, Charlotte versus Brie Bella. And I'm going to give this match one big piece of credit. It made me want Brie Bella to win. It really made me want Brie Bella to win. I was watching this matchup just like, come on Brie, come on Brie Bella. And in the end, while she doesn't, I would say, behind the SummerSlam match with Stephanie McMahon, this is probably the best match Brie Bella has ever had. It's a lot of credit to her. It's not the brilliant match, but it's probably the second best match she's ever had. And the Stephanie McMahon match is great, so no harm to her here. Brie and Charlotte had pretty good chemistry, even though a few things didn't really mesh well. A few of the pinfall roll-ups didn't quite work well. But in the end, I did like how Brie Bella used a lot of different maneuvers. So she used the snapback, which is the knee snapmare, which Nikki uses. She used the Daniel Bryan kick combo. She locked in the yes lock at one point, and I was like, come on, Brie, come on. And then she put in a Boston Crab, which I thought she was actually going to make Charlotte tap out to. But in the end, Charlotte's leg work on Brie really paid off. And Brie went to adjust the position, tripped into the ropes, neck first, well, kind of face first. Charlotte picks her up, puts her in the figure 8. Brie Bella taps out. Charlotte retains the Divas title. I give it 2.5 stars. I think it was quite good. I was quite entertained. I want to give Brie Bella a lot of credit there because it's one of her best matches. So 2.5 stars. Charlotte here can go into a feud with Sasha Banks easily and steal a show at WrestleMania. Hopefully. I mean, Asuka and Bayley's NXT Dallas as well. The thing about WrestleMania this year is it's got a NXT show to compete with. And the NXT show's card is stacked to hell. You've got Nakamura and Zayn, you've got Balor and Joe, you've got Corbin and Aries, you've got Cruz and Samson, you've got Asuka and Bayley, which is like my little wild card to be the best match. And then you've got Dawson and Dash against American Alpha, so solid card that WrestleMania is going to have to compete with. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, Charlotte versus Banks is the match for me anyway, to me. Next up, we have probably the best match on the card. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Now, I do want to point something out. This matchup was not perfect. There was a few issues in this matchup that definitely stuck out. For example, things like damn it, I had it in mind. Damn it. Oh, the bit where Jericho counters Styles in the corner and puts him in the walls of Jericho. He actually drops Styles on his head. Styles as well, when he went for the forearm, it took way too long to do it. And I'm criticising AJ Styles, and I love AJ Styles. Also, when Jericho went for the springboard dropkick, as Styles was going to do the springboard forearm, he actually I think he missed. I think he just got the ropes, which kind of makes it make sense. But I think he was aiming to hit him in the leg or something. But regardless of the few missed spots, I do think this match was really damn good. Firstly, AJ Styles on a WWE pay-per-view automatically gets points. And it was a great matchup. Jericho hit a code breaker on Styles. Styles had his arm under the ropes, which I don't know if that was meant to happen again. Styles got out of the Lion Tamer. He actually countered, I believe he actually countered a Walls of Jericho. For the finish, it was a good finish. Styles rolled over Jericho. Was looking like he was going for a pin. Picks him up. Styles clash. 1, 2, kick out by Jericho. And I'm kind of annoyed at that. I feel like the Styles clash is a move that people shouldn't be kicking out of willy-nilly. Styles clash is a finishing move that should be reserved for WrestleMania kick-out. Like, I don't know if Jericho should have kicked out the Styles clash. But anyway, after the Styles clash, AJ locks him in the calf crusher, which is what they've called it now, because they can't have killer, because kill, PG, WWE can't have the word kill and PG era. So the calf crusher, he locks it in, Jericho taps out. I thought it was a great match. I want to give it 4 stars. The confrontation after it kind of teased a Jericho heel turn, but Styles was like, "Come on, Chris," and Jericho went, and then they shook hands, and I was like, "Oh, Chris Jericho and AJ Styles just shook hands. That's awesome." But anyway, 4 stars, great match, best match on the show so far. We've only like 2 left. That one's done. Yeah. So next up, we had the Cutting Edge Peep Show, and this was pointless. I thought they were going to bring out Enzo and Cass. Instead, they decided to bring out the League of Nations. There was some sort of talk. They plugged the show, which I kind of found funny. There was a really good joke on the show, actually, where Christian's like, Edge says, "Oh yeah, we are very competitive people," and Christian goes, "Oh yeah, I know. We've always been in competition to see who could win the most world titles." That was a close one, wasn't it? That really choked me up and got me laughing so much. It was hilarious. But anyway, the segment was kind of pointless. I was hoping they'd bring out Enzo and Cass at some point, but they didn't, sadly. Next up, we have a random match. R-Truth versus Curtis Axel, who had the Social Outcasts with him. I predicted Truth, and I was wrong. Curtis Axel won after Goldust threw Adam Rose in the ring. R-Truth jumped over Adam Rose, but then got schoolboyed by Curtis Axel. What was the point of this matchup? I don't care. Half a star. Just, there's no point in this matchup. This shouldn't be on Raw. Forget being on freaking Fastlane, a pay-per-view. And it's not that I don't like Social Outcasts. I actually like the Social Outcasts. I actually find them quite entertaining, and I actually like the 4 workers within them. I like Slater, I like Axel, I kind of like Dallas, and I kind of like Rose. So, it's not that. It's just this match is pointless, half a star, unnecessary, and also put my predictions at 5-2. Moving on, we have the main event, and what a main event it was. Ambrose, Reigns, Lesnar, brother versus Beast. Winner goes to WrestleMania to face Triple H. Okay, let me think here. what I liked about this matchup a lot was that all three men looked brilliant. It isn't as good as the Triple Threat Rumble last year. It's not as good. I don't think it's actually anywhere near, to be honest. But it's still very, very... In fact, it's great. I think Lesnar dominating early on was very, very good. All he did early on was just German suplex Ambrose out of the ring, German suplex to Reigns, German suplex to Reigns, German suplex to Reigns, F5, 1-2, Ambrose breaks the pin, which showed, I think, that Lesnar would have won this matchup if Ambrose and Reigns weren't working together. Which is kind of cool, I think. It does kind of make Reigns look weak, though. I don't know. What do you think? I kind of think it makes Reigns look weak. But anyway, at one point... So what happens then is... What was amazing as well is it kind of paralleled Royal Rumble last year, because... Do you remember last year at the Rumble? Cena couldn't sell Lesnar's German suplexes at all, whereas Rollins was selling them perfectly. It's exactly the same here. Reigns wasn't selling them, Ambrose was. And I like Reigns. I'm not just bashing Reigns. I actually like Roman Reigns. It's just Ambrose was selling them really perfectly. There was a really good moment in the ring where Ambrose looked at Lesnar and he was holding his gun and he just went, 1 minute. 1 minute, let me just get up. And he was like, come on then. And then he got taken to Suplex City, nearly got him up for the F5. Reigns spears Lesnar, 1-2, kick out by Lesnar. Awesome stuff there. Then Ambrose and Reigns finally decide they have to work together. Double powerbomb Lesnar through one announce table. Then they go in the ring, fight each other for a bit. Ambrose takes him down with the crossbody and the punches. They then see that Lesnar's getting up again, and Ambrose goes, hey Reigns, we should probably take him out again. They double powerbomb him through a second announce table, which was pretty cool. Get back in the ring again. Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds. 1-2. Throw. It's so close. Such a near fall. I thought Ambrose was going to do it. Kick out. And that was a really good kick out. I thought Ambrose had it there. And then Reigns gets in the ring. Ambrose goes for another Dirty Deeds. Reigns counters it. Goes for a Samoan drop. Lesnar runs in. German suplexes Reigns with Ambrose on his shoulder. That was freaking amazing. Reigns then spears Lesnar. Lesnar, as Reigns goes for the pin, locks him in the Kimura. Ambrose goes out the ring, cracks Lesnar with a chair as Reigns is picking him up. Cracks him with a chair again. Lesnar falls off. He cracks Lesnar again with a chair. Lesnar rolls out of the ring. Ambrose turns into a spear from Reigns. 1, 2, 3. The boos happened again. And I like Reigns. I just think Ambrose was a better finish. I think it makes more sense. And I am worried for WrestleMania with Reigns and Triple H as the main event. Overall, though, the match was great. I gave it 4 stars because it was non-stop action. There was always something going on. There was always something happening. And it just worked. The Wyatt family didn't get involved, which kind of shocked everyone. So, my theory is that we're going to have Ambrose and Lesnar at WrestleMania. And Ambrose is going to lose. Ambrose is going to lose. But that could put Ambrose over in a very large way. Being in a ring with Lesnar and taking 1 F5, 2 F5, 3 F5 is going to put him over big time. And I can't wait for that if that's the match. Reigns vs Triple H, it kind of sounds dull to me. It doesn't really sound like a main event. But it should be a good match. That's one thing I've never said. I don't want Reigns and Triple H, but I've never said it was not going to be a good match. So, 4 star to the main event. I think it was great. I feel like there's a few things they've set up for WrestleMania overall. My final grade for Fastlane is an 8 out of 10. I don't think it was better than Royal Rumble, but I do think it was a very good show. Far better than last year's show, and I definitely recommend you check out at least the IC title, AJ Styles and Jericho match, and the main event. I would just check out the full show anyway. So, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Roll Rosselot. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. KO Mania is going to run round at WrestleMania, or is the Ambrose Asylum going to take over at WrestleMania? We'll find out in 6 weeks. Thanks for watching, guys.